so 2, 7, let's trade those up. Some people will need to grade 2 because other people are still going on the metrics and one person's in the bathroom, but let's get those mixed around. Did somebody grab his?
I got it.
You got it into the mix?
Yeah.
Tell
Okay.
somebody, and then give me theirs. Just give me one. And you want,
We good enough to go?
You want the mask?
Okay, so 1 is an exponent, 2 is exponential notation or scientific notation. It doesn't matter which thing is in which blank. Question about the 3 new ones. 4 is measurement, 5 anything that has mass and takes up space, 6 is the quantity of matter, 7 is the Earth's force or a planet's force on an object, 8 mass is the same everywhere, 9 is the space that something takes up, 10 volume equals length times width times height, 11 density equals mass dividing volume, 12 would sink, 13 is metric or SI versus the US system. 15, the metric is used everywhere and it's based on powers of 10. 17, we have kilograms, meters, liters, grams per milliliter, grams per liter. Anybody that has 2 papers, just feel free to hand one off to this new arriving guy here in green. 22 cubic centimeters or cc's are the same as milliliters. 23 Fahrenheit, freezing is 32, boiling is 212 for water. Celsius, freezing is 0, boiling is 100 for water. Absolute 0, 0 Kelvin is negative 273 degrees Celsius, that's called absolute 0. 30, we'd have grams, we'd have why am I blanking? Weight, what's weight? We're doing equipments, I'm sorry, that's why I'm blanking on that, I'm sorry. So mass is stuff with balances, weight is stuff with scales. Volume, you have about 1 million choices, burrets, pipettes, cups, teaspoons, lots of stuff, cylinders, if I didn't say that. Temperature is a thermometer, length is ruler. Question up to there with the older ones. I was back into 17 to 21 mode doing wrong answers on 30 to 34. 35, anything that's not a 0. 0 with a bar on it, which you could just draw by drawing a 0 and putting a bar on it. Zeros between other sig figs. I'm going to be generous with that today because I didn't have time to really go detailed on that. If the words on the paper are zeros between other digits, that should be wrong. Zeros between other significant digits is correct. So like, if you say zeros between other digits, here's my chalk. So if you say zeros between other digits, you would be counting those, which you want. But if you say zeros between other digits, you would not be counting those, which you would. It's not just because zeros are between non-zeros. It's zeros that are between any other significant digits. So you have to be a little picky about that in the future. And then the third one, or the last one I would be a little bit picky about in the future, it's zeros that are at the right end of decimal numbers. So like, you can't just say zeros at the end of numbers, because then you'd be acting like those count, and they don't. You can't say zeros after a decimal point, because you might be deceiving yourself there. It's these kind of zeros we're trying to describe. Zeros that are at the right end of a decimal position is what's counting there. So 4 rules: anything that's not a zero with a line on it, and then 2 that you have to choose your words carefully. Zeros between other sig figs, and then zeros at the right end of a decimal number. 39, 1 point for saying to round first, the other point for saying that your choices are based on place values. 41, a point for saying to round last, and then the other point saying it's based on a count of the fewest sig figs, like in a problem piece, something like that. Question about scoring that thing?
Would you give for mass how much matter is in a person?
I'll take it. I mean, it's not exclusively for a person, but I'm not gonna mark it wrong over that.
And then for weight, how much gravity affects you on
I'll take that.
Which, did you see when I was?
No. Anybody a question about scoring that 42 thing? Is anybody still doing a metric?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me talk about this quiz info, just to have it. So one, I don't think you'd find surprising that that number was called an exponent. That's more of a math question than anything. Very big, very small numbers we can write with scientific notation. I would think you've had that before. Can anybody explain to me the rules for scientific notation of some things you should keep in mind writing numbers in scientific notation?
The number has to be between 1 and 9.
Sort of,
Well, 1 and
Sort
10,
of.
but not.
but excluding 10. So if you say 1 to 9, that's close. What did he, if we followed his instructions of 1 to 9,
It's like anything that's like 9 point whatever.
9 point whatever got cut out, and we want to include 9 point whatever is okay. So we'd want to describe it, and this is a note that you'll need, so throw this on your paper. We'd want a number from 1 to 10, but not 10, times
10
10 to a
power
power. That power would be
decimal point like places
blank
in-
if the number is blank,
Oh,
or vice versa.
Power's
Positive if it's a big number, like millions, billions, trillions. The power would be
negative.
negative if it's a
decimal.
small number, like a .00000 kind of number. Next time you take a quiz, and you might be noticing I'm saying that in a slightly different way than usual. 2.8 is the read. 2.8 for the read will have one new point. And then it's time to do some trimming. These quizzes can't grow forever. Some of these words now, we've like been there, done that. It's time to cut. So I'm gonna cut this down to a 25 to make it a little more manageable. So compared to today's, from 4 through 22, it's just time to go. They'll be back for the test, but that's enough. So next time there's a quiz, 4 to 22, cut it. Number 1 will be a new point from reading 2.8. And then from 23 down stays the same. And the top gets a slight turnaround. New question, not making any quiz yet. What's the point of scientific notation?
Make it easy to write big and small numbers.
That works for me. So you could say something like to write very big and very small numbers conveniently, or write really long numbers in a shorter way, something like that. Those are wins. And then I'll ask you, what are the rules? And you'll do what we just said. It has to be a number from
1 to 10.
1 to
not
10, not 10, times
10.
to a
Power.
power. That power is going to be positive if it's big number,
Negative.
negative if
small.
it's a small number. That's a 3-point question because there was like a lot of stuff there. But grand total's 25. That is the next quiz. Here's some good news for you. That is not going to be Monday. That'll be Tuesday. We're not going to do a read for Monday. You might have observed what happened to us lately, which happens to us every time, is we get a little bit backlogged now on homework. We didn't really look at the homework yesterday. We didn't look at the homework probably today. We're going to run out of time again. So Monday's going to be a day that we'll do the metric quiz that's blank, which is also good news because it brings in the extra credit. So 36 out of 30, that's a good day. 120% throwdown, make up for some of life's previous mistakes. So metric is the only Monday quiz. Then the next read happens for Tuesday, this 2-8 quiz that I just described. Homework that's based on scientific notation would be due on Monday. So Monday is more of just a homework day. We'll do the metric thing. And then what we look at Monday is collecting and troubleshooting the homework that went to 4 that was due yesterday that we didn't really look at. It will be today's 5 to 10 that I don't think we're really going to have time to look at. And then the new piece of this is going to go from 11 to 18 and include a chapter quiz. So Monday is just sort of a deluxe talk homework, turn in homework sort of day. Then you wouldn't get new homework Monday because we didn't get a new lesson. So a day like that happens once in a while. It's kind of nice. It just buys you some time in a couple of different directions. Question about what's going on there? Let me do a little bit of mathy stuff. So this newest homework that I'm saying is going 11 to 18 is going to be somewhat like these. So they might want you to do something like write this in scientific notation.
3.63.
3.63, let's hesitate there. So our first move is just drop in the decimal, whatever position it would need to go, to put a number between 1 and 10, times 10 to the fifth. Why fifth?
Because you moved over 5.
You just moved it from the end 5 positions, so we'll go 5. Question about that, especially people that have only an Algebra 1 background, because Algebra 2 people, if you survive that, you're going to be even better. People that survive physics, this is old hat.
4.75 times 10 to the negative 4.
I agree with that. Anybody trouble with making that move, especially people that are newer at this, because everybody's kind of in a different math part of your career. All right. Then this, reverse it.
2, 3, 4.
23,400.
2, 3, 4, and then how many zeros?
23,400.
It is 2 zeros. We're going to move 5 squats. Anybody object to that?
What's the power on that one?
This was a 5. This new one's a -8.
How is that 5 squats? I'm confused.
So the decimal's here. So we're going 1. People are lying to us.
Yeah, because
2,
I was like, there's an extra
3, 4, 5. Good catch. We should have how many
You
zeros?
were right, because Nicole said that, and I thought she was right, and then you wrote that, and I was like, okay, we're done.
I'm with that. You good now,
Get it in
Pete?
my head, dude. Calm down.
I took the wrong people's word for it. I heard a lot of numbers yelled, and I put my faith in the wrong people.
It's him, it's nepotism.
Yeah, it's nepotism.
Something there. This one?
7 zeros, 5.7.
7 zeros and 5.7. Experienced number writing people, what's the preference for writing 7
Like
zeros?
group of 3, a little space, group of 3.
Group of 3, little space, group of 3, little space, and
And
then
then-
we go 057, and that's for the win. Question about that. Did the book go on and on about how to do math if you had to add, subtract, multiply, and divide?
Yes.
Okay, so no, we're not going to do that. So if you had to multiply these numbers, you would not like do it however they described. That's madness. How would you multiply these numbers in 2025?
Plug it into a calculator.
You would grab your calculator. So whatever calculator you have, grab it. If you have one of my fancy big ones, how do we punch this in? If we needed to do this times this, how does this punch? Anybody remember or know?
Too easy.
Yeah, it's like
We
2.34.
go 2.34 to start, and then there's a button.
It's second E.
It's second, and then there's a button that
It's a comma.
in color it'll say EE. The source out there says it lines up with the comma button. Do you have an EE lined up with a comma? So we do 2.34, the EE button, which involves hit the second button, and then 5. Then a multiply symbol. Then do the same thing here. To punch this in, you'd go 5.7,
E.
EE,
Negative.
-8, hit enter. That's going to be probably a 1, E, something into ones,
Yeah.
and then an E and a negative 2?
Okay, I think
Yeah.
we're talking.
Yeah, but it just doesn't write it like that.
Yeah, it just had, it .0133, yeah.
Well, that's mean.
True.
So if it's not displaying it in scientific notation, go up to your, go hit mode.
No, I think I,
Mine say error syntax.
Okay.
That's the answer.
I figured it
See
out.
those on
It's
TikTok?
1.3395.
What did you change in the mode?
It's on normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody
just change it to
hit mode.
like, science,
change normal to
Sci.
science.
and then
Where are
it
y'all
works.
seeing that?
Hit mode,
Probably
I
very
hit
top, very top line. Probably.
and then it's the top line.
Mine says math print or classic.
Oh, mine's right.
That's why you use one of these
Mine
calculators.
tells the time.
Oh.
Bruh.
Okay, I don't have my glasses on.
Too
What a
fancy.
break. Okay.
So change the mode, run it back. 1 point something. It'll say like 1 point something E negative 2.
Yeah.
So that's like 1 point whatever times down to negative 2. That's the way you do that. You don't want the rest of your career, every calculation come back in scientific notation, so like change that back. But if you're doing the chem homework, like switch it into scientific notation mode, so it stays stuff for you. Question about that game? So that homework runs something like 11 to 18. The syllabus has all the details. I'm sure there's some like 1 J's and 2 D's or
1 J
something.
to L, 11 to 18.
Give me your calculator.
And chapter quiz 2A.
There you go. Question about that lesson? Okay, let's go metric life. I'll borrow that one. Everybody make a metric trade. Anybody need a second?
Wow. The world is clear.
The world is different with those glasses on. So
Because you hit subtract one instead of negative one as well.
Oh, yeah.
There
do we get him evened out?
you go. Yeah.
Go down.
We all good now?
Where's mine? Do that.
Okay. So here's our metric life. DECI DESA is a little d. KILO is a little k. NANO, little n. GIGA, big G. HECTO, little h. DE, and then either C or K, I don't care. A, then a DA or a DK, I don't care. MEGA, big M. MILLI, little m. MICRO, Greek M. CENTI, little c. That's that. Anybody need metric score help?
Is that not 20?
Out of 20, always out of 20 until Monday it's out of 30 because it's empty, but with a true perfect being 36.
If
Just-
somebody put like a capital N for nano.
Then I'd say that's a no-go. Yeah, that's right.
I get it. You have mine?
Yeah, it looks like a capital.
Anybody, anything? Score-wise?
For the spelling on the prefix, does it matter on the prefix?
Yeah, the prefix needs to be the right, like, upper lowercase. On the prefix, no, but on the symbol it matters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, prefix, I don't care about capitalization, but the letters have to be the right capitalized on that symbol column. Anybody else a scoring question?
Up to the big leagues.
We have a couple minutes, so if you did run into any trouble, I could answer questions. Monday, that's all we're doing is looking at homework. But I do have time now. Did anybody get stuck on anything up through 10 on homework? That you need any guidance now, so it's like readier by Monday? Just keep all those homeworks till Monday. We'll turn them all in Monday, but we'll look at the one that goes to 4, the one that goes to 10, the one that goes to 18. We'll look at all of those. But do them, but I'm not going to read you any answers because
They're in the
they're all
back
in
of
the back. So check yourself, make sure you know what you're doing, and I'm just looking to field questions and give info on Monday. So wrap on that.